actually let it sit for one whole week because I didn't have time to get around to it last week. And I've been a little bit more experimental where I've been doing root rinses, and I actually went 4 weeks without washing my hair with shampoo. So today I did, okay, before I did henna, actually, I used the Garnier Fructis line. I've loved this leave-in conditioner. I had it and it lasted me like 2 years. I mean, I don't know, maybe leave-in conditioners aren't supposed to last that long. I was also using the Aussie, but I kind of feel like because of the results I got with the Fructis, I kind of just want to use this one. So I use, well, the shampoo is way in there and I don't want to go inside the shower, but I use both these, the shampoo and conditioner, and I have to say I like my results with it. And I will not, I'm not sure I want to use Selsun Blue anymore because I was really liking Selsun Blue for a really long time. And I do think it can be a good shampoo if like you have like scalp conditions and whatnot, because I did a couple of years ago. But I just noticed, I'm not sure if it's the VO5 conditioner or the Selsun Blue shampoo. I just noticed like I felt like my hair was feeling more dry over the last few months. I'm just not really sure, but I came to the conclusion it was time to get some new shampoos and conditioners. And I'm a budget girly. I just love how this Garnier leave-in conditioner and the conditioner and their shampoo, I guess, is like a clarifying shampoo. It has sulfates, but it's silicone free. But I noticed it has a tiny bit of salicylic acid, which I guess a lot of the clarifying shampoos do nowadays. But it's not quite as concentrated as the Selsun Blue. And I just felt like I was ready for a change because I've been using the Selsun Blue shampoo for like a year and a half. I would say like mostly for a year and a half, although I don't wash my hair as much as other people. Like this last hair washing cycle, it went far out. It went 4 weeks, but I rinsed my roots. And when I mean a root rinse, what I do is I clip my hair up in the shower, right? Hi. So I clip my hair up in the shower and I let the shower hit my roots to where my hair gets wet. So when I'm saying I do a root rinse, that's what I mean. And I did not film detangling this time because I did that last time and I'm like, nobody wants to watch me like detangle after henna. I just feel like I'm sitting here and I'm kind of gently detangling. So I didn't really want to film that this time. I'm like, I filmed it before, but it just, actually the funny thing is though, I felt like my hair was less tangly even though I did henna. Well, I've done like henna oil, like last time I washed my hair, but my hair felt less tangly with a henna treatment than it did when I was using the VO5 conditioner. And I've just come to the conclusion I don't like that conditioner. I know, like in the past I said I love VO5, but I don't like this kiwi lime squeeze. I'm just not a fan. And for people who say, well, you need to use high-end conditioners and shampoos, I don't agree at all, because a lot of people have recently come out and say, you know what, we're having great results with using drugstore shampoos. And I pretty much always use drugstore shampoos, except I would buy sometimes the Alethea one, but you can buy that at Target or Sprouts. So I'm not going to spend. And for oil, I just have been using up my Yves Rocher Minoy oil, which is actually really good quality oil, to be honest with you. It's a coconut. This one's the older version, which I kind of like a little bit more because it has the sesame oil. So it's like liquefied at room temperature, whereas the old formulation that they went back to recently, it's solid when it's winter and spring. And it's been colder here in California than per usual. So, lots of things today. The Eclipse. Why was everybody so gaga about the Eclipse? Southern California when you didn't even really see anything. And I wasn't gonna go outside and look at the eclipse. Reason being is I don't want to go blind, and I don't even. I know some people probably think it's okay to look at it with those glasses, but I just don't think so. Plus, I feel like if you just are like at home doing something with the eclipse, that's one thing, but it just seemed like it was too trendy. Like my sister and I, we went shopping on Sunday. I love it when my sister's spontaneous and she's like, Julia, do you want to go shopping? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we went shopping in the evening, and she was telling me about how during one of the eclipses, and I didn't know this, but I do believe it, I guess that some of the places where you could see it in its totality ran out of like groceries and gasoline because everybody went there and they were like a standstill. And I just don't like it when things are just too trendy, I guess. I don't understand, like, why do you need to leave your home to go see an eclipse? But maybe because everybody, like, lots of people are doing the same thing, and it just seems like it's creating a lot of people in one area, and I just don't get it. So I'm like, if you're gonna see an eclipse, like, why can't you do it from home? Maybe you won't see it as good where you live, but I don't feel like everybody needs to travel to one spot when something big's happening. But that's just me, I can be very friendly and I do like to talk to people, but I am more of an introvert in that if a lot of people are going to see a certain event, I'm not interested. I'm like, oh, if everybody's going to that, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go. Unless it's something I really, really am invested in. Plus, I do think like there's certain spiritual elements that can come with an eclipse. Like there's something about it. I feel like there is something to it, but not the way that other people are making it out to be. And I feel like a lot of people are just into the eclipse because it's trendy. And I don't know. But if you love the eclipse and you wanted to go see it, I'm like, that's fun. I'm personally not going to travel far from home to go see an eclipse. I don't know. Yeah, I would not use that. I don't like that VO5 leave-in conditioner. It's just not good in my little opinion. I'm not impressed with it at all. Not the VO5, but it's just a regular conditioner. Hi. Because that one VO5 one, I thought for a long time, like, VO5 was so good. I thought that years ago, though, and to be fair, I hadn't used it in a very long time, and I just remember, like, I guess, years ago, like, I grew up using that stuff, and I've just always done gentle hair care on my own, just because, I don't know, I like to be gentle with my hair. But I used to use the strawberry one a lot. I used to love the peaches and cream one, that one, and I don't know, I guess I just thought, oh, let's try it again, but I do like drugstore shampoos. I don't think that VO5 one's good. I'm going to really tell you right now, don't use that one, because it just felt like, ooh, my hair felt so dry, but after I did henna, I just feel like, this was a treatment for my hair that feels so good. It's so natural. I love natural things for my hair. I love to do natural treatments to my hair, like just to do self-care. I'm really into self-care, but natural kind of self-care. Like, yes, there's some chemicals in shampoo, but I'm not going to use a chemical hair dye on my hair like ever. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to do that. I love the natural color of my hair, which is dark brown, and I just like to enhance it with the henna. Hi. Plus, it's so West Asian, and I'm part Syrian Lebanese, so I love how it stains your hands like orange. your palms. It's just really beautiful. There's something about it. I still need to do henna art on my hands one of these days. I've just never gotten around to doing that. I've just always done kind of henna hair treatments, But I haven't done one in a while. This is the first one I've done since November, and now it's April. And I was like thinking, I want to do them like every 3 months or something, but I actually went, okay, November 15th. So December, January, February, March. It was about 5 months. Like that's a long time actually. And I hadn't realized like it had been 5 months, but yeah, it had. It had been 5 months, but I highly recommend if you want to do like a natural treatment, but you might want to test, because people told me when I said, I love henna because it's natural, somebody's like, but you have to make sure to mention that henna like can give people an allergic reaction. I'm like, but a lot of things can. And honestly, I feel like the people that are kind of like talking about the allergic reaction to henna, they're forgetting a lot of people started using henna because, well, in the past, that's all people used, because you didn't have chemical hair dyes like several hundred years ago. People used henna. That's what they used if they wanted to do, like, add some color to their hair, do like a hair mask or a hair treatment. It was henna. That's what people used. And henna is beautiful. And if you use it correctly, I would not go overboard with henna. Like, I mixed the henna with water and olive oil and some essential oil, and I wasn't going to let it sit a week, but it sat a week. So it became really creamy, and I don't know if I'd do that again. I don't think I would sit a week. But it just kind of happened because I was busy, and it just was really smooth. And I made the henna really runny, so when it came out of my hair, like, it was just very runny. So I'm very happy with this hair treatment tonight. I'm just like, wow, this is like, it was a lot of time, but I was very gentle with my hair. And I have to say, like I said, yes, you get some tangles in your hair after henna, but it was actually better than when I had just, plainly washed my hair and did a henna oil treatment only. But I'm attributing, like, some of the tangliness that I had recently to that VO5 shampoo and conditioner. I know some people are like, but you need to use a high-end conditioner and shampoo. But I don't, why do I? I don't see the point, because, I mean, if I was gifted something, yeah, I'd try it. Well, my sister's telling me she wants to give me some of the Morocco Method, I think, hair oil that she got, and shampoo, which I will accept and try, because I'm like, hey, that's free shampoo and conditioner. She does not like it. But I love, like, oil-based. Apparently, they don't work on her hair. She says that these oil-based shampoos and conditioner oil treatment, well, I kind of like Garnier because it is lighter. It has some oil in it, but it's like a lighter shampoo. But when I did the henna treatment, I definitely used oil, and I do put oil in my hair. Like, even after relieving conditioner, I like a little bit of oil in my hair because I feel like it helps to kind of smooth your hair down. I don't know. That's just my feelings on it. And those are my feelings on it. But yeah, I'm using the unbrush after, like, I detangled with my big comb. Right now, I'm just loving this really big wide tooth comb, which just came in a set that I got at Burlington. And I don't even remember what the name of the set was. It was just some, like, name, not big name. But I have other combs and other wide tooth combs. Like, I have like this scunchie comb that I was using for a long time. But I think I like this one more because it's just big and it's smooth. Like, this has like a smooth plasticky finish that I really like. And, I have like another comb. Like, I have several combs, so I'd have to dig down there to get them. I've been thinking about selling some of the hairbrushes and combs that I don't really use, because, now I'm down to the point that I love my unbrush and the wet brush and my wide tooth comb for when I wash my hair. But, like, the unbrush is kind of awesome. You still need to give it a bath, though. Like, the people who think you don't need to wash it, you should definitely, like, I think whenever you wash your hair you should wash your hairbrush. I'm just really big on that because I don't know. My other sister was like saying, oh, that she feels like her hair gets greasy a lot after she washes it. I said, I really don't think it does. But one thing I've noticed is that you just never wash out your hairbrush, or you never take the hair out of your hairbrush. And I don't really understand, like, especially there's some people that'll buy these really high-end shampoos and stuff. But then, like, they have this hairbrush that's just so old and they haven't cleaned it. Like, you don't even have to have an expensive hairbrush. Like, honestly, I really do love the unbrushed now, but I don't think I would have paid $18 for it if I had known that it's a little bit better. I feel like it's a little bit more gentle than the wet brush, just a little bit, in my opinion. But that's just my little opinion. I just really like the results I get with this Garnier. My hair just feels so fluffy and soft, and also with the henna too. Just a little bit of everything that I did with my hair. Wow, that feels so good. It feels really good. It feels very good. I put a little bit more water though in the brush because I feel like sometimes with wavy hair you just kind of have to have more. I don't always like once I've like after wash my hair, I just feel like I need a little bit, just a little bit, just a tiny bit, you know. I don't know anything about that Mahosh, to conceal a thinning crown. Why are you worried about that? Like, I think for that, you probably need to talk to a dermatologist because I love henna because it's just like a hair treatment. But if you're looking for like something to conceal a thinning crown, I wouldn't be the person to talk to you about that because I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't dealt with that. So if you're like thinking about something about hair loss, first off, did you have COVID? Because a lot of people that had COVID, like they're experiencing more hair loss. Also, if you're a man, like some men have thick hair all their life. Like some men don't go bald, but if you're a man, sometimes you're gonna go bald. That's just reality. I mean, women have hair thinning too, but like with men, especially in the crown area, I don't know. So how do you okay, so with henna in the tub, it depends on like your, okay, so like my tub, I'm just a clean freak. I clean like crazy sauce, like, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness. It is, you need to clean, like you need to clean. You need to hit it hard, you need to hit it good, like when cleaning, clean. So like I would say henna maybe stains a little bit in the tub, but for me, I don't think it does because when I clipped up my hair, guess what I did? I spent an hour like just taking water and shampoo and scrubbing down the stains from the initial application. And then when I rinsed out my hair, it's still gonna stain a bit, but I kind of use more shampoo to kind of like scrub down the tub. So it might stain a little bit, but I think since my tile in my tub, well, it's like plasticky. This is like, I live in an apartment, but you know, people hate plastic. I love it. It lasts like forever. You know, it's durable. Like, it's pretty durable. So I don't know, with the color of our like plasticky tile stuff, like I don't know. It was originally, it wasn't like a pristine white marble. So it might depend on like what your tub looks like. You know, if you have a tub that easily stains, it's like some pristine white, like ceramic marble situation, maybe. But honestly, you could do henna outside in your backyard, I guess. If I had a large backyard, I think that would be the ideal way to do it, because you could just rinse the henna into the earth. Like, and I saw a lady that actually did that, where she did henna in her backyard, and she used like, you know what? Because I think would be the perfect, would be like a nozzle attachment for like watering your flowers, for like washing out your hair. And that would probably be the most ideal way to do henna, because then you could just do it outside in an area that's kind of muddy or something, and it just goes on the ground, and it's a plant, and like, yeah. You know what's so awesome? Did you know the Egyptian mummies had henna hair, of some of them? And the henna has lasted thousands of years? Like, I'm kind of creeped out by how, I mean, I'm interested in Egyptology, but you know what's kind of creepy is that we dug up the graves of people. I don't know. Like, even though I'm fascinated by it, I still feel like it's so problematic. I feel like, yeah, in the time period when they were digging up all the mummies, like 100 years ago, I feel like people didn't know any better. But I feel like nowadays, why are we still doing that? Why are we still like digging up graves? And I don't know. And I feel like in my own country, in the U.S., I feel like this is another thing that bothers me. Like, I'm very interested in anthropology and archaeology, but like, you know, when they dug up Native American graves, and there's still some of them in like museums, like archives, why don't they just rebury those people? Because I feel like that's just so long. And I'm kind of feeling that way recently. Like, it's interesting to know about the pyramids and to know about the mummies, but is there not something creepy about the fact that they're continuing to dig and excavate more? And I'm like, plus a lot of people get sick because like, you're digging up a grave. There's gonna be pathogens and mold in there. There's a whole unsolved mystery episode about how, like they disturbed a mummy and a curse, and this one Egyptologist said no, it's just because they shaved and they exposed themselves to pathogens, because they nicked themselves. I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, like if you're an Egyptologist, like that's cool, but I don't want to dig up people's graves. I'm just like, no. It feels a little creepy, guys. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know. Is it? I ate the chopped salad. Okay. I'm gonna make it better next time. But I made the chopped salad sandwich, and it's really good with Newman dressing. Because you know, my sister loves Paul Newman dressing. Like I've lived it since I was a kid. Like, you know, Paul Newman dressing just goes on everything. But I think I can make a better vinaigrette, honestly. But this is her favorite one, so we have it. And I put it on the sandwich. But, okay, it was really good. But let me preface it this way. I don't think it's any different than if you chop up the ingredients and just put them in a bowl. And then I guess, like, there's a lot of debate on the right way to make a chopped salad sandwich. Like, some people are like, oh, you have to use a vegetable chopper to do it, so that its presentation looks aesthetic. And I'm like, it's a salad, guys. Like, I don't think you need to use a salad chopper to make it. I mean, if you want to buy one because that helps you chop veggies, have fun. But I like to chop vegetables, so me, I don't know. Like, I love chopping vegetables, so I guess I'm not the target audience for a vegetable chopper. Plus, I just feel like they're kind of gimmicky. I don't know. Like, it just feels like it's another gadget that sits in your kitchen, and are you going to use it forever, and does it break? And if it breaks, okay. It's like me trying to get rid of the soda stream. I've been trying to get rid of this thing for, like, I never would have bought the soda stream. Can I rant about the soda stream? It was a waste of money. Because first off, I didn't want it to drink soda. I just wanted it to make sparkly water. And I believed all the claims it would be cheaper to make the sparkly water if you bought the soda stream. But not really, because the 2 cartridges are $60. And this was several years ago. And I've been trying to get rid of this thing. And it just sits on my counter. And don't ever buy a carbonation water soda maker thing. No. I would have been better off buying a good food processor, which I actually do want. And then there's another appliance that I don't use that I've had for years, another gadget, which is the crock pot. And I do like my crock pot, but I don't know. I guess I just don't really use the crock pot because I feel like it's more for people who eat meat or something. And many moons ago, I did used to eat chicken sometimes and turkey, and that's when I used it. And one time I did make refried beans in it, but I just didn't really understand, like, why do I need a crock pot? I could just do that on the stovetop. Like, I'm not a minimalist, like, obviously. I love bright things in art, but when it comes to appliances, I don't see the point of having more and more and more because I just don't want that much clutter in my house. I honestly like to do decluttering frequently. And even when I go shopping with my sister, I kind of just like to look around these days. And occasionally I'll buy a dress or something. But I'm very much in, I don't want to be a minimalist, but I feel like I have enough of what I need. I don't need to keep adding to it. And I don't want to be a minimalist, but I just like having a lot of things that I like, but I also want to get rid of some things just because, yeah, that's just my vibe, and I feel like you need to balance it out. I'm such a Libra, even though I don't really believe in astrology, but do I believe in it a little bit, but not. Yeah, I'm fun. I'm fun like that. Kind of fun like that. Maybe I'll put a little bit more oil in my hair. I think, okay, I was gonna go back to what you said about, did I say your name right? I don't want to say people's names wrong. Like, I'm very obsessed with being able to say names correctly. Like, that is so important to me. So anyway. Minoxidil, I guess. Like, if you're, like, I personally am not interested in taking minoxidil, but a lot of dermatologists will, prescribe it, and it seems like that is something that's good for promoting hair growth and probably eating a balanced diet, sleep, exercise, mitigating stress, not being part of the fast-paced Southern California life. I love Southern California, but we don't need to be a speed race horse. We don't need to be in the nightclub scene. We could just go look at the mountains and the desert and the beach. That's what California is about for me. It's not like going to nightclubs, not that I'm saying people do, but just, I think you can be in California without, like, getting obsessed with the faster pace of California. And, like, yeah, some things you can't avoid getting, like, COVID. Like, I've never had COVID, by the way, but you know what I got? Back in January, I got influenza A. And I got a really bad case of it. To where, like, I was so congested, and it was horrible, and yeah, I've never been that congested in my entire life. But I should have known better because I was exposed to somebody who was wearing a mask, but taking it off and coughing and talking and touching things. And I was like, I don't really know if you were that sick, like why you were out around people. and sometimes, and and that's how I ended up getting influenza A. So, and sometimes like COVID can be bad. You can have really bad long-term health effects from COVID, but I think people forgot that there are other things in influenza A. You can actually, at first I was told I had maybe pneumonia, but then I went to the emergency room because I was afraid that I was breathing like okay, apparently according to the doctor, but I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I felt this pressure on my chest. Then he said, no, you don't have pneumonia. They misdiagnosed you at urgent care. You just have a bad case of influenza A. So yeah, and it took me about a month to get over it. And I had never been that sick in my life. Never. But going forward, I'm like, I don't want to get sick again, obviously. And I've never had COVID to this day. So you can still get other things, and those things could like contribute to hair loss perhaps. But I just know that COVID definitely does, and that's one of the side effects they say. But it also could just be maybe, I don't know, it could be an allergic reaction. It could be male pattern baldness, because men tend to lose more hair than women. That's just reality. I know our social influencer culture makes people think like, oh, nobody ever loses their hair, but men tend to lose more hair than women in specific parts of their head, even though women can have thinning of the hair too. But you have to remember, a lot of things you see on social media with influencers are not realistic. Oh, I guess this came up in the, I don't even look at the long hair community forum, but occasionally I look at it, and I guess people were debating about whether this big, okay, she doesn't even have really super long hair, but she has long hair, and I think it's really pretty. And I think some of this is getting a little crazy. Like, people were saying that she uses like filters to make the ends of her hair look thicker, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't think so. I don't think she does that. Okay, I think maybe maybe she does some hair treatments that are more expensive and they're good for your hair, but I also believe that you could do more minimal hair treatments like many of us do and still have good results. Because look at those Russian ladies and like Ukrainian ladies and Slavic women and people in India. Like, those are places that people still really have long hair, like in, I would say, Russia, the Ukraine, like the Estonian, Latvia, Lithuanian countries, some of the other Slavic countries, and India and Sri Lanka, and I would say Pakistan as well. There's just certain cultures where having long hair is more prized. I think it's changing though, like with modern times. Like even in India, like having super long hair isn't always like what young people want to do with their hair anymore, but a lot of cultures and societies have long hair, and women aren't using like influencer products. Like a lot of Indian women use Ayurvedic, like natural, like they use henna, they use hair oiling, like coconut oil, braiding their hair, very gentle hair care. Like they use natural products, okay? And they also have some spirituality to why their hair is long. And then women like in Slavic countries like Russia, Ukraine, a lot of them, they're using modern hairstyling techniques, but they use drugstore products. They're not using, and I'm not talking about the influencer Russian ladies or the influencer Ukrainian, Estonian, Slavic ladies. I'm talking about just the people that are on social media, and they might have a following, but it's not like influencer type following. It's more just like they're into sharing like about having long hair. So you can have long hair and use like more affordable products. Although with inflation, what is an affordable product? It's kind of different these days, right? With inflation, what is an affordable product? It's harder to say, Like, but I'm just saying, if you have more time than money, you can still have really gentle hair care. And you can do a lot of natural things with your hair. I feel like things are different though in since COVID, because everything's more expensive now. That's just the reality of life, I guess. But I'm trying not to focus on things that I feel could be on the more negative side, or just, I mean, these are reality things, but I just kind of want to focus on like the positivity of self-care, you know? So, like, you don't have to spend $1 million to do certain hair treatments. Like, if you're worried about like hair loss, I did a really good talk with Rita, and she's a nurse, and she said go to a dermatologist. Like, if you're concerned about hair loss and it's not getting better and you want to improve it, use gentle hair care. But if you feel like that's not helping you, see a nutritionist, see a doctor, go to a dermatologist. Like, that's when maybe there's something else going on. And I would say go to a dermatologist, but go to a good one, maybe not like one that specializes in hair like growth, maybe a younger one. Like, if you're seeing an older doctor or dermatologist, not to bad on older doctors, some are really good, some are very like up to date on what the latest things are, but we have to give credit to young people. I know a lot of people are threatened by up-and-coming young people, but they are just out of school, they've studied the new technology, the new things that might help people in every field. So yeah, I don't know, go see a doctor is all I could suggest in those situations, you know? That's what I would suggest. But everybody has to figure out what's best for them, right? And everybody has a different priority in life too. It depends on what your priorities are. Some people say on social media that they don't have time to brush their hair and they have to rip a brush with their hair, which to me, I find super cringe. But, you know, I don't get it. But I don't get a lot of things that people talk about or how they feel. And there's a lot of things that have a lot of hype around them that are not for me. But the only thing that I actually really liked was this brush. I love this brush. I'm so into this brush. But otherwise, I don't think, like, oh, well, that's another thing I was going to say. I don't use, like, okay, so when you go to the, I did find this kind of refreshing, because I remember a few years back when somebody suggested that any of my channels should visit the Long Hair Community Forum. And somebody did say, there was one thing, oh yeah, regarding like this one influencer. I don't know why people are accusing her of using filters to make her hair or hemline look thicker, which I don't think she's doing that, okay? I think maybe there's some hate for her because her content's taking off, I don't know. But somebody made a good point, like, they said that they didn't really identify with the hair fork and the hair stick culture, like everybody having to have a hair fork and a hair stick. But then I was kind of noticing on a lot of those forums, people said that they kind of got away from the hair forks and the hair sticks, and they found that the claw clips work better, which I did use claw clips when my hair was super long and I was doing like the 2 braids, like the crown braid style, along with some bobby pins. But in general, they were saying that they like this younger influencer because like she has more vibrant hairstyling techniques that appeal to younger people. But that was always kind of my take, actually. Like, okay, I don't know, I just was always like, I'm a braid, like I love to wear my hair in a braid and I love to wear my hair down in a braid. But when I first started like a YouTube channel, first off, don't listen to men that have a hair fetish. Like, there was this guy that had a hair fetish and he had all these opinions about my hair. And I always did the hairstyles I want, but I feel like if there's a young woman that like listens to women or men and they say you should do this with your hair and you're already doing something that's working, don't change what you're doing, okay? Just because some other people think this is better. And that's why I'm just not a real big fan. Like every time I go back to the hair community forum, I'm just not a super fan of it because hair care is very individualized, and I don't think in the history of modern times there's been like anybody that really can say everything that would be super good for everybody's long hair, especially if you're somebody that's not fully Western European. And that's kind of one of my big complaints about long hair community forum is very geared towards a Western European straight hair dichotomy. Like I don't see a lot of there seems to be more diversity in hair types there now. But when I looked at it years ago, and also like a lot of the hair fetish dudes, like they seem to like really be into women that are white, straight hair. And then it just makes you feel like being part Middle Eastern. And yeah, I'm part white too, but I know that I don't look like those girlies. And I knew that I never looked like those girlies. So it's nice to see that there are up and coming younger hair influencers that are adding more diversity to the hair conversation, because I don't know why. I feel like you either had the hair fetish dudes that were like, okay, so they had like this fetish with a certain type of hair styling content, so they thought all women should do that. And I don't know, just don't listen to anybody like when it comes to what, like you can read something, you can go to the long hair care forum and it might give you a few good ideas, but honestly, you can get those same tips on YouTube, okay, and on TikTok. You do not necessarily have to go to the forum. I mean, if you want to, you can. Maybe they have some good tips, but I don't know, like I just get my tips through my own intuition and through things that I always did that helped me. And I think gentle hair care is what helps me. And at the end of the day, you have to figure out what's going to work for your hair, because everybody has a very individualized hair type. And even I'm going to preface this, like even though some of the younger hair influencers seem more dynamic and they're sharing different kinds of hair styles that have more diversity to them, and in some ways they're not completely though, because if they have straight hair, they really don't know anything about your hair type if you have wavy or curly hair. So I feel like you need to kind of look for people that have your similar hair type. That's one thing. Or just in general, like do a lot of research. Like I always just would look things up, and it didn't necessarily have to be tied to the long hair forum. Like I just always knew henna was good for your hair because I remember reading about it, and because I'm part Middle Eastern, and it came up a lot, and they talked about henna's from the Bible, by the way. People used it in biblical times and pre-biblical times, and in all Middle Eastern cultures, and they use it in India too, in North Africa. I love henna, and I believe in it that strongly. And I remember when I was 15 just reading about henna and having this intuitive thought that it would be amazing to try henna. And Europeans used to use it. They don't nowadays really, because Americans don't really use it either. But it used to be used and it was traded. So I really love henna as a hair treatment, not every week, not every day, but every few months. I think a henna hair treatment is good for you. But I would mix it with olive oil and water. But that's to my hair type, because I feel like maybe some hair types, like I don't know, there's some people who say that their hair does not do good with henna at all. And I would never mix henna with conditioner. So yeah, one time I had a mishap where mixing henna with conditioner wasn't good. But in general, like I just really love henna. I guess this is just an ode to henna. But henna's beautiful, and you need to figure out what works for your hair. And I have to say that nothing that I see other people doing with their hair applies to me, per se. Like I might get ideas. Like I might see like, oh, that braid looks cute or something. But honestly, everything that I do with my hair is pretty much just tied to me and my hair type and figuring out what worked for Julia. Because I believe that. I believe you have to really investigate. And one thing that can be fun about watching a younger influencer is like, yeah, they're adding new hairstyling ideas, and it doesn't seem as dogmatic, like the whole hair stick, hair fork thing, like in the long hair community. When somebody mentioned that didn't really vibe with them, I'm like, yeah, I'm older than that poster, but I got that too. I was like, I was never into that, like, and it just seems so fiddly. I was like, oh my god, like that. Just because people were like, oh, it just seemed more fiddly because you'd have to wind the hair fork and weave it into your hair, and it just, no, I'm not interested. And even some people with super long hair started saying that they were using clips instead of hair forks and hair sticks. Well, they might occasionally use a hair fork, but I don't know. I just think, do what's less fiddly with your hair. But yeah, I'm not going to use a hair stick or hair fork because, yeah, if you have to move your head in many different directions, I don't know. It's just not for me. I'll use hair clips if I ever start wearing my hair up again. I love hair clips. Like, they're good enough. And you get more hold with them. And I feel like you have more control with them. And I like things where, like, to me, if I'm doing a hairstyle that's an updo or a braid, it's a one and done. I don't want to fiddle with my hair all day. So I'm not in another thing, I don't like to wear my hair loose when I'm out in public, although I did on Sunday. So sometimes that changes depending on my mood, but in general, I like to wear my hair in a braid. I don't know. That's just how I feel. You know? That is just how I feel. Anyway, this was my hair talk. These are my hair results, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.